Hi everyone, welcome to WITS Connect. Today we are going to discuss the topic about Hartley oscillator. So this is the circuit diagram of Hartley oscillator. So in this circuit diagram we are using the NPN transistor. Okay na? So and here this is the tank circuit connected from the output to the input of the base of the transistor. Okay na? So here in this tank circuit the inductors or coils L1 and L2 are connected in series. And the capacitor C is connected in parallel with the inductors or coils L1 and L2. Here the coil L1 is inductively coupled to the coil L2. So because of these two combinations of coils, it acts as auto transformer. Okay na? So when the two coils are connected in series, the combined effect of two coils acts as a auto transformer. Okay na? So coming to the circuit. So here these Hartley oscillators are also used as local oscillators in radio receivers. These are used as local oscillators in radio receivers. Coming to the circuit construction, here the resistors R1 and R2 provides potential divider biasing. Okay na? So it provides potential divider biasing by using the resistors R1 and R2. The resistor RE is nothing but emitter resistor or emitter resistor which provides thermal stability for the transistor. It provides thermal stabilization for this particular transistor. Here the capacitor C is nothing but emitter bypass capacitor. Emitter bypass capacitors. What is the use of this emitter bypass capacitor? It provides amplified oscillations. It bypasses the amplified oscillations. Okay na? So if this emitter bypass capacitor is not there, the amplified AC oscillations will drops across the emitter resistor RE to the ground. So that what will happen? The gain of the transistor is going to be decreased. Okay na? That's why compulsory we have to use the emitter bypass capacitor. What is the use of emitter bypass capacitor? It provides amplified oscillations. Okay na? It provides amplified oscillations. Okay na? So if it is not used, the amplified oscillations are drops across the resistor RE. So then what will happen? The amplified oscillations are goes through the ground. Then the gain of the transistor is going to be decreased. So what about this coupling capacitor? Input capacitor and coupling. This is nothing but input capacitor and this is nothing but coupling capacitor. So what is the use of coupling capacitor? So this coupling capacitor is used to allow AC signals and it is used to block the DC signal. Okay na? And obviously what is the output? We are getting frequency of oscillations are AC signals ka. Okay na? So what is the use of this RFC is nothing but radio frequency choke. Okay na? So here we are connecting the radio frequency choke at the collector terminal of the transistor to the power supply. So what is the use of this AC signal? It is used to allow only DC signal. Radio frequency choke is used to allow only DC signal. And it is used to block AC current. Okay na? DC current ni allow chestundi, AC current ni block chestundi. That is the use of radio frequency choke. So this is about the circuit description. Coming to the circuit working, coming to the circuit operation, when the power supply is switched on, the transistor is going to be starts conducting. As a result, the capacitor C is going to be charged. When the capacitor C is going to be fully charged, it is going to be discharges through the coil L1 and L2. Okay na? So when the capacitor C is going to be fully charged, it is going to be discharging through the coils L1 and L2. So this continuous process of charging and discharging of the tank circuit will produce a sustained oscillations across the collector circuit, across the feedback also. Okay na? So here the tank circuit produces 180 degrees phase shift because of the sustained oscillations, and the transistor amplifier itself again it produces 180 degrees phase shift. So the total it is 360 degrees. So this is the conditions to produce sustained oscillations. Okay na? So here the transistor will provide positive feedback. Okay na, and the total phase shift around the circuit is 360 degrees. Because of the feedback circuit 180 degrees, and because of the transistor amplifier it itself again produces 180 degrees. So the total phase shift is 360 degrees. Okay na. So coming to the frequency of oscillations are decided by the tank circuit elements L1, L2 and capacitor. So the frequency of oscillations for this Hartley circuit is F or equal to 1 by 2 pi under root LC. Here the value of inductance L equal to L1 plus L2 plus 2M. Why? Because L1 plus L2 we are taking here the two coils L1 and L2 are connected in series. So the total inductance it is L equal to L1 plus L2 plus 2M, where 2M is nothing but mutual inductance between the coils L1 and L2. Okay na. So coming to this circuit, so this is the tank circuit, this is the feedback path. So this is the feedback path. Here the output of the amplifier, here we will get the output. This is the output of the amplifier. The output of the amplifier is given to the inductor L1. The output of the amplifier is given to the inductor L1. Okay na. So coming to the inductor L2. So the voltage across the coil L2 is nothing but feedback voltage. So this feedback voltage is connected again to the base of the transistor. Okay na. So here the capacitor C is nothing but it is going to be charging and discharging. Okay na. When the circuit is conducted, it is going to be fully charged. Again it is going to be discharges through the inductors L1 and L2. So coming to the feedback factor, beta equal to, what is the feedback factor definition? The ratio of feedback voltage to the output of the amplifier. It is nothing but Vf by Vout or Vf by V0. Okay na. So Vf is nothing but what? It is nothing but feedback voltage across the coil L2 is nothing but it is indicated by XL2. Inductance, it is nothing but inductive reactance. XL2 at the inductive reactance at the coil L2. It is nothing but XL2. Output ekkada vastundi? The output voltage is across the coil L1. It is nothing but inductive reactance at the coil L1. It is indicated by XL1. So XL2 is equal to WL2, XL1 is equal to WL1. Okay na. So W get cancelled, L2 by L1. So therefore the minimum value of amplifier gain to maintain oscillations. What is the minimum value of amplifier gain to maintain oscillation is nothing but A beta equal to 1. This is the condition. The condition to produce sustained oscillations, it is nothing but A into beta equal to 1. Here in this A equal to 1 by beta. So if you substitute beta value as L2 by L1, you will get L1 by L2. So this is the minimum value of amplifier gain. A equal to what here? You will get L1 by L2. So this is the operation of Hartley oscillator. So coming to the next topic, Colpitts oscillator. So this is the circuit diagram of Colpitts oscillator. So here coming to the circuit construction. So this is the tank circuit which provides the sustained oscillations for this circuit. So here we are using two capacitors connected in series. C1 and C2 are connected in series and two capacitors are connected to ground. Okay na. Okay na. So here the inductor L is connected in parallel to the capacitors C1 and C2. Okay. So coming to the resistors R1 and R2 which provides potential divider bias for this circuit, and the resistor RE, that is nothing but emitter resistor, so which provides thermal stabilization for this circuit, and the emitter bypass capacitor CE which provides what? Which provides sustained oscillations. Okay na, which provides, but it is nothing but CE is nothing but emitter bypass capacitor which provides oscillations, and if this CE is not used, the amplified oscillations will go through the ground, then the gain of the transistor is going to be reduced. Okay. So coming to the coupling capacitor. The coupling capacitor is used to allow only AC signal and blocks DC signal. And next coming to the radio frequency choke. The radio frequency choke is used to allow only DC signal or DC current and it is used to block AC current coming from the power supply. So if it is not used, RFC, and directly the AC supply coming from the voltage power supply will affect the amplified output. Okay, so coming to the circuit operation, when the circuit is on, when the power supply is switched on, the transistor is going to be conducts. The transistor is going to be conducts, and the capacitors C1 and C2 are going to be charging. When the capacitors C1 and C2 are going to be fully charged, they are going to be discharging through the inductor L. Okay na? So when these capacitors are fully going to be charged, it is going to be discharges through the inductance coil L. Okay na? So this charging and discharging, okay na, the charging in the capacitors, that means the electrostatic energy stored in the capacitors will converted to the magnetic flux developing across the inductance coil L. So this charging and discharging of the tank circuit will produce undamped oscillations or sustained oscillations at the tank circuit. So this feedback circuit, this feedback path is again connected to the transistor base terminal. Okay na? Here the tank circuit produces 180 degrees phase shift, and the transistor CE amplifier will itself again produces 180 degrees phase shift. So the total phase shift around the circuit loop is 360 degrees between the input and output circuit. So this is the condition to produce the sustained oscillations. Here the circuit will produce positive feedback. So coming to the frequency of oscillations, the frequency of oscillations in this circuit is decided by the values capacitor C1 and C2, say C1, C2 and L. So the sustained oscillations, the frequency of oscillations, it is indicated by Fr equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC. So here you will get the oscillations like this. You will get the oscillations like this. So here the capacitor C is equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. Why? Because here the capacitors C1 and C2 are connected in series. When the two capacitors are connected in series, the equivalent capacitance C equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. So in place of C we can write C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. Okay. So the output of the amplifier is connected to the capacitor C1 here. So this is the circuit. The output of the amplifier is connected to the capacitor C1. And the output of the capacitor C2 is nothing but feedback voltage. And this feedback voltage is again connected to the base of the transistor. Okay. So coming to the feedback factor beta equal to Vf by Vout. Vf is nothing but Xc2 by Vout is nothing but Xc1. So this is equal to 1 by omega C2, and this is nothing but 1 by omega C1, where W is nothing but omega, or W is nothing but angular frequency. Okay, now omega equal to 2 pi f, where omega equal to 2 pi f. Okay, so if you calculate this, you will get C1 by C2. So this is the feedback factor beta equal to C1 by C2. Okay, so A beta equal to 1. So this is the condition to produce sustained oscillations. So if you calculate gain, the maximum gain, the minimum gain to produce the sustained oscillations, A equal to 1 by beta equal to 1 by C1 by C2. It is equal to C2 by C1. You will get C2 by C1. This is the minimum gain to produce sustained oscillations, A equal to C2 by C1. So this is about the Colpitz's oscillator.